message or acknowledge a message. So wherever possible, we will use TeamSpeak until we start getting randoms joining our squad. Then we have to go to squad comms in game. Now, there are two commands you may hear during the game, lessons, and a lot of other things that we use. One is comms tight, and the other is comms free. Poor old section commander is listening to people on local, in squad, and also on TeamSpeak. Occasionally he starts getting messages and orders from the platoon commander. Now, with all the noise going on, include a few explosions and machine guns going, it's very difficult for him to make out what the platoon commander is asking him to do. So what he'll do is called comms tight, which means that everybody on that channel remains silent because he's listening to orders and communicating with the other squad commanders. When he's finished, he will call comms free, which means back to normal combat discipline with regards to voice communications. Now, comms tight can be interrupted. If you're sitting down, remaining silent, and a German Panther starts coming down the roads towards you, it is perfectly acceptable to turn around and say, section commander, we've got a Panther 200 meters coming along the road from the east directly towards us. If it's a threat to the squad, you can sing out about it because the section commander needs to know, because an imminent threat is far more important than what the platoon commander is telling him. Have you got any questions about comms discipline?
Nope.
Okay, that's brilliant. Right, first thing we're going to do is, if you can just stop moving and jumping around. Thank you. The roles and responsibilities of the infantryman are two. One, competence. You can fire your weapon, you can throw grenades, you can use the equipment you're carrying, and discipline. The section commander's got an awful lot on his plate, and if he's spending his time herding cats, in other words, all his green tags are all over the map, he's trying to organize each individual. It's not an enjoyable thing to do, and also he's ineffective. In other words, he hasn't got the number of troops around him he needs to take and hold a position to counterattack against the Germans. So the whole idea is, if your section commander asks you to do something, do it to the best of your ability. That doesn't mean if you've got a suggestion to make, he won't listen to it, but it is a case of, first and foremost, do as you're asked. Now, next thing I want to look at is the basic equipment. Now, basic equipment can be accessed by using the mouse wheel. Just scroll along to what you're looking for and press a button, which is all good and well, but there is a problem with that, because while you're doing it, you're looking at the bottom of the screen. So if a German comes up, he can stand over you and shoot you because you're in the middle of doing something. So rather than use the scroll wheel, what we in 7th Armoured Division do is use the keyboard keys to bring up the equipment that we're carrying. Now, there are 6 buttons, and each one gives you access to a certain class of equipment. If you press 1, it is universally your primary weapon, in your case the Enfield. If you press 2, it brings up the Enfield pistol, which is the secondary weapon for all British troops. 3 will bring up anything high explosive, in this case the Mills bomb, it's the only one you've got. 4 will bring up smoke grenades. Now 3, if you're a Piat gunner, will bring up your Piat, then it'll bring up your Gammon bomb, then it'll bring up your Hawkins mine. So you cycle, you press it until the right thing appears in your hands. 4 is always smoke, no matter what class you are. 5 is anything medical. As an infantryman, you're carrying 3 field dressings which you can apply to yourself to stop bleeding. These are applied by pressing the right mouse button. You can help a colleague as well by looking at him and pressing the left mouse button. And medics, of course, also have the syringe, the morphine syringe, which will revive a wounded player. Number 6, you can class as all utilities. For you, it gives you access to the entrenching tool, to the sandbag, to your camera, and finally, to your water bottle. Okay?
Yes.
Right. Now, do you want me to go through that again, or are you happy with it?
No, it's cool. I got it all down.
That's all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call out a piece of equipment, and I want to see it appear immediately in your hands. Understand?
Sure.
Okay, smoke grenade. Correct. Webley pistol. Enfield pistol. There we go. Correct. Enfield rifle. Correct. Water bottle. Brilliant. That's it. Any questions about why we use the numbers rather than the scroll wheel? Right. Another point to note that if you're carrying a weapon which is capable of firing fully automatic or single shot, pressing 1 again will change its fire mode. Consequently, press 1 again. So for things like Bren guns, you don't have to hit the middle button. Hitting the main weapon again will automatically change its fire mode. Right. Next we're going to do is, how's your marksmanship? Straylock, how good are you with that Lee Enfield?
Sometimes I miss when I shoot. But other than that, I'm alright.
Okay. What we're going to do, Mr. Morley, you about?
I'm at the target.
Brilliant. Okay. Quick look with my binoculars. I can see the target. Yes, I see you. Did
Yeah.
you run there or take the...
I jogged there.
Right. Okay. Right. Mr. Straylock, if you'd like to lay down on these sandbags. Right. If you look towards the north, in the distance, you will see a Horsa glider side on to us. Its nose is pointing to the left, its tail to the right. To the right of that is a brownish green bushy top tree all on its own. Can you see the glider I'm talking about?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, if you look at the side of the glider, just to the left of the 3 vertical invasion stripes, you will see the Royal Air Force roundel.
Yep.
Can you see that?
Yep, I see him.
Great. It's got, we're using that as the target. The red inner circle is the bullseye. The white middle circle is called the inner. The blue, large blue circle is called the outer. And the yellow is the target rim, the edge of the dartboard, for want of a better expression. Now, do you know how to set your rifle to the correct ranges?
Yes.
Okay, set 300 meters.
Done.
Done. All right, what we're actually going to do is I'm going to ask you to fire 5 aim shots towards that roundel in an attempt to hit the middle of the target. Sergeant Morley is lying down there actually looking at it, and he will see the strike when it hits the target. That will be the exercise. Do you have any questions?
I can barely make it out. I'm not sure if I'm seeing it right.
Right. Easier space, you'll see the 3 vertical white stripes, and then you'll probably catch a piece of yellow just under the wing.
Under the wing.
Yep.
Do you know about using the shift key to zoom in when you've got your sights up?
Yeah, I'm doing that, but I can still see it.
Hang on. I'll stand in front of it and jump.
Yeah. Can you see the soldier jumping up and down in front of the Horsa glider?
Yes.
Right.
That's on line with the target.
So it's immediately left to the white stripes then?
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, I see something. Alright.
Yeah. Okay, so get down, get comfortable, and 5 rounds aimed fire in your own time. Carry on. Not more?
12 o'clock yellow, 12 o'clock blue, 12 o'clock white, 12 o'clock blue. Outer green, just 1 o'clock. 12 o'clock green, outer just.
Yeah. Snatching the shots. Aim slightly lower.
Blue, 12 o'clock. Bullseye.
Brilliant. Got a few more shots?
Bullseye.
Yep, you got your iron now. Yep, reload. Take another 5. Now you've got your iron.
Should I keep going?
Yeah, fire another 5. You're on the bullseye now. You know your point of aim.
Bulls.
Brilliant.
Bull. Bull.
Excellent shooting.
White. 5 o'clock. Bull.
Okay.
Yellow. 6 o'clock.
Right.
Bull.
Yep. Continue firing till you've expended all ammunition, but do not reload.
White. 6. White. 5. Blue.
I'm out.
5.
Ow. Okay. Good shooting. As soon as you got your iron.
I think he was snatching the last 4.
Yeah. I mean, very good shooting towards the end as soon as you found out the point of aim. The whole idea of that lesson was to give you confidence that you could actually consistently hit a target at 300 meters. I think you dropped 1 out of about 20 rounds, which was really good shooting. Are you confident with your use of the Lee Enfield rifle?
I would say so.
Yeah, so would I. Okay, stand up.
There's one shot I didn't call
Okay,
was
do
his
you know-
first shot because he shot so quick. I think it was 11 o'clock yellow.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay, quick exercise. The reloading animation can actually stop, get you killed, quite frankly. If you're in close combat, and I mean below 30 meters, especially in the assault or anything else, I wouldn't stand there, Boot. Thank you. There is an alternative to actually reloading the weapon. Now you're standing here. Aim your weapon down to my right-hand side. Yep, on the ground. Okay? I will aim my weapon to your right. And when I say go, you're going to reload and I'm going to do something different, just to give you an idea of timing. You understand the exercise? As soon as you finish reloading, fire into the ground beside my feet.
All right.
Okay, go. There we go. The unfortunate thing with the Lee Enfield is you load 10 rounds in 2 stripper clips and it takes a while. If you find yourself out of ammunition at short range, don't bother reloading because as soon as you press R, you're locked in. You can't get out of the reloading animation. Immediately press 2 and get your pistol out and use that. 6 shots, rapid fire, if you're close enough, because if you're reloading when that guy comes around the corner, you're in trouble. Any questions? When we get on to things like room clearing, you'll use your pistol in preference to the rifle simply because you can put 2 rounds into somebody. Because you start using a rifle in a building, you fire once, next time you fire, you reload, then you fire twice. The pistol will give you 6 shots straight off, and at that range, it's very difficult to miss. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Right. Next thing we can do is hand grenades. So, follow me. And step up to the ammunition trailer and reload. Resupply. Okay, thanks for doing that, Sean. All right,
You're welcome.
that's all right. Straight up, there are two ways to throw a grenade in this game. Do you know of them?
Yes. The
So-
long toss and the short toss.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the underhand and the overhand.
Oh.
Right. What I'm going to teach you now is accuracy with the hand grenades. So, you know how to use them, so I'm not going to go through the basics. However, what I will do is show you how to aim them. Right, I'll do this first off. When you press and hold the left mouse button, you're doing an overhand throw. Your point of aim is the thumbnail in the arm, left arm extended out in front of you. If you place the center of the thumbnail on the target, that gives you the correct line. All you then have to do is adjust the elevation to actually be able to lob it. Now, quick look, where are we? All right. Now, in this case, let me just see if I have got the my iron. Yep, there we go. The aiming mark, when you press and hold, is place the center of the thumb along the edge of the thatch where it meets the wall. So you place your thumb over the edge of the roof at the bottom. Once you're there and happy, you release. So take a crack at that. Short. Both short. Grab another couple of grenades. I'll describe the play. Too high. That was bootneck.
Oh, hang on. Left seal.
There you go, straight through the window. At different ranges, you'll have to use different elevations. Little window. Make sure you hit.
There you go.
There you go. And when you get a lot closer, you drop the elevation. If you're throwing up at a first or a second or third story building,
Bad grenade.
that grenade, yeah, we're out the range. Within range of about 20 meters. There you go, straight through the window. Oh, too high. Who was that? Too low. Yeah, let's straight up throw, don't interrupt his aim. Or give him any confusion about which one of his grenades it is. Slightly low. That was in. Alright, okay. That's enough. Load up with grenades again. That's the overhand throw. Use that for...
Sorry, I already had that one.
Yeah, okay. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Right, if you've expended a grenade, go and load up on the trailer. And then, trailer, follow me. There we go. Right, breaching doors. The underhand throw, in other words, the right mouse button throw, gives you very short distance. And the idea is that you don't hurl a grenade in through a door to have it bounce off the far wall and come out. So the whole idea of this, when you hold down the right mouse button, this door is a little bit large, but it'll do for now. Thing is, if you peek around the corner, you can be shot. When we clear buildings, the first thing in through the door is a grenade. But we've got to make sure we don't catch a piece. So we only need it inside the door, so we basically draw it back the right mouse. And when you hold that, you'll notice your left arm is outstretched with the palm uppermost. The aiming mark is the tip of your index finger on the avatar. The idea is we will toss it in with the walls a bit narrower than they are here. It will usually bounce off the wall and then go left, so you'll be out of the range, providing you're standing beside one eave of the door. But with this, we're going to have to move because it won't reach the end of the building. So if I toss it in, gentle toss, and I just step to the left, and I'm safe as house. Nothing. And that's it. So right hand, move in, use the index finger to aim, let it go in, and just step to the left. Try that a couple of times. If you step too far to the left with this building, you'll expose yourself at the window and will catch, there we go, just a slight walk. Let the grenade do its work, then you go in there to finish off anything that survives. There you go. Lovely. Right, that's fine. Let's pick up another couple of grenades. What time we got? We're going through this very quickly. We've got 17 minutes.
It's 'cause you've only got the one pupil this time. Normally you might have half a dozen or so.
I know, which means we can do this in about an hour and a quarter, which is great. Final thing about grenades. When we throw grenades, and the section commander will call it, section grenades to our front, maximum distance throw, and you all throw them. Whenever you throw a grenade, you call the word grenade. Because the section commander may not know how many people threw grenades. And so he'll wait for 1 bang, 2 bang, 3 bangs, and he thinks that's everybody, and he runs into the building just as the 4th grenade goes off. So if you call grenade when you throw a grenade, he will hear the word grenade 4 times and knows that the section shouldn't move until the 4th explosion. If you mess up, and you can mess up, like you throw a grenade high, it bounces off the wall and drops straight back towards the section. Call bad grenade, and everybody will scatter. These things can take out a section every bit as good as a German grenade. And it's a bit unfortunate if we all go down to it. Do you have any questions about throwing grenades overarm, underarm, and what to call when throwing them?
Nope.
No. Okay, right. So now we'll pick up the vehicles. We will go and capture that point and continue the lesson. I'll put this on.
I've already done it.
Oh, you have? Right, okay.
I'll jump in with beatnik.
Okay. Quick trip through the woods.
I'm in. Yeah, I wish to get rid of the dirt on the windows.
Aye.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I get a lot of flickering off that.
Oops. Forgot about that bit of wall there.
No, it's always the last fence of the barbed wire what does it.
Here we go. We need 3 of us
there's a
outside
gap
of
up here,
vehicles
isn't
to
there,
capture
somewhere?
Wilhelmina Park.
there is,
Here
yeah.
now.
You said before that there were 2 parts to train.
There were 2 what?
Parts to the infantry training.
I'll need
Yeah,
to
we've
move
got
back a bit.
3 infantry lessons, but the
Well,
other 2
well, it
lessons...
doesn't really matter, we're not dying.
Oh, aye, that's right. Aye.
The other 2 lessons are for when we get a section or a half section together because we train together. It's
Alright.
infantry battle drills, section attacks, house clearing, fighting in built-up areas, and how we work as a team. All right, yep. Here the guys are. We begin to flip the point. Right, quick question. Again, you've been in the game long enough. Do you know how to control stamina? And the effect of
yeah.
movement on stamina?
I know if I move around crouch, I just start losing it just by walking. And it's even worse if I'm prone. And if I run like that, it's even way worse.
Yeah.
If I just walk normally, I'll recover a bit.
Right, yeah. So I'll just go through it verbally. If you jog along just pressing W, you actually recover stamina. If, however, you sprint, stamina drops at a particular rate. If you crouch and walk, your stamina rate will deplete at the same it was when you were standing and sprinting. And it goes all the way. If you sprint while crouched, it goes at double the rate. Eventually, the worst case scenario, you are prone and crawling forward at a sprint, in which case it really does go down. Stamina needs to be managed, which is, if we're not in combat, we tend to go everywhere as infantry as a jog, unless we need to get somewhere very, very fast. So what we do before we go into combat is the section commander will call it. He'll tell everybody to rehydrate. Take a drink out of the water bottle, because that will increase the recovery rate of your stamina. And if you sprint while standing up, your stamina won't go down. Otherwise, it's a case as soon as it gets into yellow and it's convenient, take a drink of water to get the stamina back up. Exhaustion is a problem when you're out of stamina and you have to sprint anywhere. You won't. You'll jog along, an easy target for the Germans. But more importantly, when you bring your weapon up to aim, the lower your stamina, the worse the weapon will wave about. And it's very, very difficult to take an aimed shot. Have you experienced this in combat?
Barely.
Yeah,
Because I always avoid that.
Right. Well, I won't get you crawling around, but when you're on the training range, crawl around quickly until your stamina is completely out, then bring it up to the aim and see how badly the weapon waves around. It's a progressive problem. The less stamina you have, the worse it is. So if you sprint or crawl fast all the way into combat and then can't hit anything with a weapon, you're not doing yourself any favors. Any question on movement, standing crouched or prone, or the importance of remaining rehydrated?
No.
Okay. Right. Next thing, do you know the difference? Right, next part of the lesson. Do you know the difference between cover and concealment?
Cover is when we are behind protective walls or anything really that protects us from harm. And concealment basically hides us from the enemy.
Yeah. The key one there is cover will protect you from direct enemy fire. In other words, bullets won't go through what you're hiding behind. Concealment, bullets will go through what you're hiding behind. Things like hedges and bushes, tree foliage, if there's not a tree trunk standing in. When you're looking for somewhere to go down, if you can find cover, great, use it. Concealment is a second choice, unless, of course, the cover is out in the middle of a field. So if you've got a rock or something, say this shed, for instance, out in the middle of this football field. If you've got Germans shooting at it, your problem is that you can't move left because there's no cover to the left of it. You can't move right because there's no cover to the right of it, unless, of course, you sprint for that wall. So you're actually stuck. If you try pulling back behind it, the Germans will eventually have the angle on you and will be able to get a clear shot. Wherever possible, if you end up on a solitary piece of cover, try using concealment instead. Along hedge line, as soon as you go through that hedge line, and I'll show you this in a minute, and go down, you can then move prone, hidden. So when they think, oh, he went down in the hedge and start firing through it, you can move along the hedge line out of suppression range. So in those instances, it's far better being down behind concealment where you can actually keep moving as opposed to a piece of cover, which means you can't. Eventually, again, cover will only stop direct fire. It won't stop a grenade being tossed over the top of it. So whenever you're moving, keep an eye on the ground and think, if I get shot at this point, I'm going to go straight to that wall. So you don't, when the shooting starts, you don't think, shit, where do I go? It's a case of, if we start taking fire, I'm going to get down behind that wall. If I start, right, I'm past the wall now. If I hear another shot, I will go down to the hedge in my right and crawl through that. I could come back to the wall. Then all of a sudden you get a bit further on, right, I've got a hedge to my front line, to my front, and there's a bloody forest behind it. I get into that, I can crawl virtually anywhere I want. So keep it updated in your mind as you're going through. Any questions? The difference, the advantages of cover and concealment, and when to use them?
Nope.
All right, okay. I'd like to pop over here. All right, we're looking to the southeast, and at a range of approximately 40 yards in front of us, there is a berm running right to left. It's all there to the left-hand side of the goalposts, which are slightly right of our axis. Next thing I want to talk about is reacting to enemy, oh good God, mouth failure, sorry. Reaction to effective enemy fire. Effective enemy fire is if we start taking casualties or bullets start tearing up around our feet. In other words, shit, they're actually aiming us. A bang in the distance isn't effective. A single shot going somewhere within about 3 or 4 yards isn't effective. It's when they start hitting the section or hitting the ground around our feet. We've got to do something about it. Now this is straight out of the British Army playbook. Is when you come under effective enemy fire, they say dash, down, crawl, sights, observe, fire. We're going to deal with the first three. Dash. Basically, you sprint towards the nearest piece of cover. In this case, we'll use the berm. Down. You go prone. You get your ass into the weeds. Crawl. You never get up where you went down, so you crawl off 2, 3, 4 meters while you're still in cover or concealment away from where you went down. Because if there's an MG42 gunner, he saw you went down behind that berm or the bush, and he will put as much fire into there as possible, and you'll get the suppression effect, and you won't be able to do a lot. You certainly won't be able to shoot back. So you move to one side or the other to make sure wherever he saw you go down, you're nowhere near it. Now there's another thing you do on the dash. You hit W and shift and you start sprinting towards the cover. I'll give you a demonstration. If you hold down those keys and then press D or A, it'll give you a slight sideways movement. You'll still be running in the same direction. It'll have a sideways movement on it. It makes it far harder for a rifleman to hit you. Automatic weapons, basically they can put a lot of fire down, but the idea is if we're coming under fire from riflemen, it may just save your life. And I'll give you an example of the whole movement. Here we go. And I sprint. So I dashed, I got down, I then crawled. I'm safe behind the berm, but I'm nowhere near where I went down. And it didn't affect my stamina too much. You want to take a crack at that? I just want to get behind you so I can see the sideways movement. So, when taking effective enemy fire, dash, put in a little bit of few side steps to throw the aim of the enemy, get down behind the berm and then crawl left or right until you're in cover. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, we're taking effective enemy fire. Now, go. Okay, and down. And crawl and safe. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. Guys, when I run forward, do I actually turn to face the direction I'm running in? Or do I just sidestep like this?
You sort of turn slightly at an angle.
Yep.
You always seem to be facing the way that you're actually running.
Right, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure it was an effect and wasn't something. Yeah, that's it. The idea is, if you've got to get into cover, make it as difficult as possible for the enemy rifleman to actually hit you. Right, hang on, quick check of the time. 18 minutes. Ooh. Right, the next thing, which was a section, I will actually direct you to a British Army training video which shows it. It was what I learnt from, and we actually managed to find the original British Army training videos on YouTube, and we basically linked them on our Discord. When everybody's down in cover, the section commander will ask, can anybody see the enemy? Unless you're able to indicate where the enemy is to the rest of the section, you're the only one who can shoot at him. And when you're laying down there and there are 8 other guys around you, they can see which direction you're pointing in. So you don't say, he's over there, he's on our left, unless the section commander has basically given the axis of advance so everybody knows where left is. Because when people generally get around, they go all over the place, and your left may not be the next guy's left. So the idea is to use a target indication, which starts off as range. Yep, in other words, 200 meters. Slightly left. In this case, looking over there. See that sandy coloured
Building.
Yep, the building's
Alright.
over there. All right, what you can turn around and say, range, 250 meters. East-southeast, single-story building with thatched roof. To the right of the building, black and white barn with the doors open facing towards us. The target is to the left-hand side of the door in the barn. And everybody looks and goes, yeah, right, 250 meters, that's about so far out. Yep, I see the thatched roof. I've gone slightly right of that, and oh yes, I see the barn. I see the door in the barn because I can see all the way through it. So the German is lying down there, to the left. And so you can put down effective fire. Now we do it in exercises, but the army training video trained British soldiers with it. So everything they say works in this game too. And it's the way we start telling each other where the enemy is if one member of the team has spot them. There's another way you can actually indicate the target. You can only do it with the Bren. And you hear the command, watch my tracer. 1 in 4 rounds of the Bren is a tracer round. You see the piece of cover that the Bren gun is firing at. You can see where the tracer's landing, and everybody starts shooting at that. Then we get up and actually assault the position. If the commander cannot see where the fire is coming from, he may turn round, nominate one person to get up and sprint a short distance and then get down in an attempt to draw the enemy's fire. Everybody else is looking out, looking for the muzzle flash or the smoke. You only get up, run a short distance and get down. The whole idea is to get the enemy to fire. You don't do this when the enemy is at very short range, because the whole idea is not to get the guys doing the running killed. It makes sense, and it's the section commander's call. Do you have any questions about target indication? I'll give you the links to the videos. Sit down, watch it. Any questions, come straight back at me.
All right then.
Okay. Final thing I'm going to deal with is fire discipline. First and foremost, don't fire your weapon because you're bored. You were in with us at the start of the event on Sunday, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were all the guys in blue doing?
They were just messing around with the Bren carrier.
Yeah, they were shooting each other. And believe you me, this is the behaviour of a number of units. We don't get involved. We draw back and just let them get on there. Because the problem being is we're outside of a safe zone. So if you shoot somebody, the tickets start going up as far as the server ban's concerned. You end up getting kicked due to team kills. You have to restart the server completely from scratch, having deleted all the entries on the ban list just to let the game proceed. So don't mess it up for the event organisers simply by getting involved. If somebody shoots you, don't come back and shoot them back. It really isn't worth it. Just take yourself off with the rest of the section and stay out of the way and let them play around. The other thing, in the game itself, if you're fiddling around with the mouse and fire a shot, congratulations, you've just alerted the Germans to where we are. So fire discipline is important. And if you can, count your rounds. When you reload, it'll only put 5 shots in. So if you fired 9, it'll only reload another 5. You've only got 6 shots. So attempt to count your rounds. When you fired your 5th shot, then reload. Keep the last 5 rounds in the Lee Enfield for emergencies. Finally, effective suppression. How long have you been playing the game?
Let's see. 48 hours.
How many days?
I think he said 38 hours.
I said 38 hours. It's almost 2 days.
Have you ever been under heavy suppression?
Yes, my screen grows all black and I can't really aim.
Yeah, that's it. Providing you've actually done it. The screen shrinks down as if you're looking through the world through the center of a toilet roll. And not only that, if you attempt to aim at every time another bullet hits, it snaps your foresight away from whatever you're attempting to aim at. If you're in suppression, and providing you're down behind concealment, always crawl away from it, so it's not as bad. When you start doing infantry section battle drills with us, we use suppressive fire on this piece of ground, and we attack Germans who are behind that berm. You'll see exactly how effective it is. Right, okay. Said at the beginning, the purpose of the lesson was to give the individual player an understanding of the basics of infantry combat in Postscriptum and their role and responsibilities with the infantry section. Are you happy that we've actually met that objective?
Yes, this was actually enlightening. And I also got to practice the basics again.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you very much for coming. Change your tags. Are you joining the armor or the infantry?
Well, I would prefer to play as armor.
Yeah, that's okay. Unfortunately, there are lots and lots of tankies and only 8 positions in any game. So by joining the armor, that's great. We'll try and fit you in, and of course, you're free to play as armor or infantry at any time you want. But when it comes to the events, you're now in a group of 20 people. We're looking for 8 places. But yep, I will change you on Discord to Trooper for your rank, and you'll be assigned to the Royal Tank Regiment. That's great.
Right.
If you want any tips on fighting as a tank crew, see Sergeant Morley, who's behind me. He's second in charge of the tanks, and he'll give you any information you need. Thank you very much for coming tonight. And guys, thank you very much for helping out.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Right, and I will link you those lessons at the bottom of TeamSpeak.
Alright.